Hey everybody, so real quick before this video starts, I just wanted to let you know, and I do apologize, I'm just getting home from work and it was raining on the way home, so I got a little soaking wet on my bike today, so, that's not what this video is about. I just wanted to come on here real quick before this video starts because I plan on editing it today and probably putting it up today. The sound quality on this video is not great. I am aware that it's not great, but to be honest, this is the second or third time I've filmed this video now, and I really don't want to film it again. So just be aware that there is some sound quality issues with this video going. I wouldn't listen to this on headphones, but if you're listening to it on a computer or a phone, you shouldn't notice the sound too much. I think it's because there's some type, when I film elsewhere in my house besides my normal filming location, I've noticed this sound vibration that keeps happening, and I think it has something to do with the Wi-Fi interference or something. So I am working on it. But like I said, I just really didn't want to film this video again. So please bear with me, and if you're interested in watching this Q&A video, then just keep that in mind. Don't watch it on headphones because it'll probably be annoying. But yeah, I do realize it's there, so no need to send me all hateful comments that it's there, because I know it's there, and I hope it doesn't annoy you guys too much. But anywho, I will move into the video. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey everybody, so what feels like a really long time ago, I said that I was going to do a Q&A video, and I did do a Q&A video, but unfortunately I didn't like the footage of it, and then I got busy, and then it never ended up getting refilmed. So I did not forget, I promise. I just haven't had time to refilm it, so I am sitting down now, and I'm going to go ahead and do that Q&A video. I apologize, I did end up filming the Q&A along with the kind of resort my shelf with me, but like I said, I didn't really care for the way the footage turned out. So, and now it's, mid-September, so I don't really think a summer polish rack is going to be interesting to anyone at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Q&A video, and I think, later on down the line here, if I get time or if I think of an interesting video, I will kind of show you the fall polish rack. I just have a problem now. I filmed those couple videos in the bathroom, in where my polish rack is, which is in my guest bathroom. I just don't love filming in there. The lighting is pretty crummy, and I just don't love the setup, so I don't really enjoy filming in there. So I may end up just maybe throwing up some Instagram photos, or maybe I don't know, doing something in there, but not necessarily filming, because like I said, I just don't really care for the filming location in there. But that's the only really place I can have my polishes, in my condo. So any hoozles, we are going to do a Q&A video here, and then hopefully I have a couple videos coming up shortly. I've got fall nail polishes, and I'm hoping to do a compilation of a bunch of weekly mani videos that need to get filmed here soon. So, but I wanted to go ahead and get this out because I know I said I was going to film it forever ago and did not. So let's go ahead and jump in. So I'm going to bring up the questions here on my phone from the video, and in hopes, in an effort to not butcher anyone's name, I'm going to insert, as I'm reading the question, I'll insert the person's name here at the bottom. So let's jump in. And as you can see, my filming location is a little bit different, and I don't know if you're going to catch, I'm hoping the cats aren't going to be running around like crazy people, because I've got this tripod set up really treacherously here on the couch with me. So, because this is really, it's starting to get a little late in the evening, so I wanted to film in front of our big windows that we have here in the living room. So the cats might be walking around up here being crazy, and hopefully they're not going to jump on the couch and mess up everything. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so I'm going to start these from, I think, the way it looks like on my phone, I think from bottom up is the first couple questions, then I'll work my way up. So the first question is, what are your favorite polish colors, favorite polish brands, and do you have any polish friends in real life? So my favorite polish colors, I pretty much I think the proper question is what polish colors I don't like. I pretty much like most colors. I think the colors that I wouldn't necessarily say I don't like colors, I just don't think they look flattering on me, so there's some that I wear more than others. So, for example, the colors that I tend to not wear, and of course the cat's gonna go ahead and jump on this thing already. So the colors that I tend to not wear a lot, just because I don't think they look nice on me, is definitely yellow. Yellow is the hardest color for me to wear. Orange is a little tricky. Really? Orange, yellow, that's going to keep happening. I would say black is a little bit difficult for me to wear just because I'm sort of pale. So when I wear black, I feel like it washes me out a little bad, a little, you know, not well. It washes me out a little bit. So I tend to wear black with like a little bit of something in it to kind of break it up a little bit. So that silver and gold are always tricky for me as well. But yeah, every other color I tend to wear, and it's not necessarily that I don't wear any of those colors, I just don't wear them a lot. I don't like to limit myself, but those are the colors I just have very few of. I'm sorry, I had to break up a cat fight there for a second. Okay, so second question of that was my favorite polish brands. ZOYA is definitely my favorite. Obviously, if you've watched any of my videos here on my channel, ZOYA is probably my favorite, like, mainstream brand. As far as, like, indies go, and I know indies, you know, what some people consider indies is different than what other people consider indies. For me, you know, there's like two different levels of indie. There's like boutique indies, which are like ones that you can find in stores, but they're not relatively easy to find. So like Cirque, maybe like Picture Polish, A England, some of those more like KL Polish, you know, those that are, they're not as well known, but I don't know if I would consider them like small batch, you know, indie polishes. But so ZOYA definitely my favorite mainstream. I would say Cirque Colors is my favorite kind of like boutique brand polish brand. And then as far as like indies, that's hard because I feel like I've been trying a whole bunch of different polishes recently, so I don't know if I have a favorite like indie polish. Definitely polish. I say I probably have a few. Polish for Days, Tonic. I know I'm probably going to be missing some here. Those are probably my top two. I feel like those are the ones I have the most of in my collection as of right now. So I'd probably say those two are my top, if I can. I feel like I'm probably missing one, but we're going to go with that. And then the next one is, do you have any polished friends in real life? I do not have any polished friends in real life. I wish I did because I have a whole lot of polish. I wish I could pawn off on someone. But yeah, there's not too many people in my life that actually like nail polish. There's some people that will put up with it and kind of talk to me about it from time to time. But no one that really follows it as heavily as I do, and definitely not anyone that wears nail polish as much as I do. All right. Let's see here. Next question is, how did you and your husband meet? Me and my husband met, it's going to be 5 years in December. We met at the dog park, funny enough. We had both moved here to Texas and had never obviously ran into each other till that point. So we both had boxers at the time. You met Roxy here on my channel, but you never met so Roxy was my husband's boxer, and my boxer he's passed away since then, but his name was Champ. And so we both had brought them to the dog park, and we kind of ran into each other. It's kind of a funny story when I sit back and think about it, because if I sit and think of like all the what ifs that could have happened that day, I mean, we both never really went to that dog park. It just kind of happened that way. It was right around Christmas time, and neither one of us had gone out of town. It's just, you know, I lived up north here, and then he lived a little bit further south. There was really no way that we would have run into each other other than meeting at the dog park, but it's just kind of funny. So I was walking down the path, he was walking up the path, and our dogs just kind of crossed paths. And, you know, it was fate from there. I don't think we really spent that much time apart after that. So we met at the dog park, which everyone thinks is very cute. Let's see. Next question is, are you over mainstream polishes, as in basically only buying indies? How many polishes do I have, and how does my husband feel about my collection? So I'm definitely not over mainstream polishes, but I feel like mainstream polishes have been kind of slacking in the last, and maybe that's And that could be just me because I've been getting into indies. I feel like they're slacking, but I feel like as a whole, especially these last few collections, a lot of them are doing just really boring, basic colors. They're not really stepping out of the box. I feel like a lot of them are duping themselves. And, you know, I understand mainstream polishes have a different audience compared to indies. Indies are able to do small batches. They're able to do these kind of out there trends, whereas mainstream polishes might not necessarily be able to do that. And I understand that mainstream polishes are catering to a wider audience, so they want to make colors that more people can wear. So I understand that, but I feel like I'm not necessarily over mainstream. I just wish they would kind of, experiment a little bit more, because at this point I have so many polishes that, I just can't buy the same purple color over, I can't buy the same colors over and over again. It just gets repetitive. I need stuff that is unique. I need stuff that I don't necessarily have in my collection at this point. And as of right now, mainstreams are just not doing it. I have a basic color, at this point I have almost every color under the rainbow when it comes to creams. So I feel like mainstreams have to go a little bit above and beyond at this point for me to want to buy them. Let's see here. How many polishes do I have? I haven't counted in a long time. I think when I did that Topic Tuesday, it was probably like a year or so ago at this point. I think I had close to 400, and I've definitely increased my purchasing. Granted, I do also have a pretty large pile of de-stash polishes that are sitting around that I need to eventually handle once I have time to do that. But if I had to make a guess at this point, I would say I probably have around 500 at this point, 550. We'll see. I probably should count them here eventually, but yeah, I don't have a terribly large collection as compared to other folks, but it's still pretty big. And how does my husband feel about my collection? He thinks it's funny. He thinks it's interesting that I collect them at this point. So he jokingly, every day I pretty much come home with like a package in my hand, and he'll make the joke of, oh, what's that? Even though he definitely knows what that is. But he thinks it's funny, and he was the one that offered to get me the polish rack in the custom-made polish rack that we have in the guest bathroom, and he's very supportive with it. I think he thinks it's a little strange that I have so many polishes, but I think he supports the addiction to some extent. I'm sure he wishes that it would decrease at some point. Let's see here. Have you gotten any polishes from the 90 Smoothie Bar collection? When Helen asked this question, I had not gotten any of the Smoothie Bar collection, but at this point I purchased 4 or 5 of them, and eventually when I have time to film a haul video, I will show you all the ones that I got. I did post a photo of them on Instagram. I got a good chunk of them, and I've only worn 2 at this point, so you'll see them in a weekly manis or eventually in a haul video. But I have picked up some from the Smoothie Bar collection. Do your coworkers comment on the fact that you change your polish every day? Because mine do. I have 1 or 2 people that every once in a while will say something. They'll just comment on the polish itself, not necessarily that I change it every day. And there may be folks that notice it but don't say anything to me, but there are 1 or 2 that point out like, oh, I like your polish today, but no one ever comments about like how often I'm changing my polish. Let's see here. Is there a nail polish finish or trend that you used to enjoy that you're completely over? I wouldn't say I'm completely over it, but I did at one point really like matte polishes and like textured polishes, but I've definitely noticed that I'm not wearing them as often as I used to, and I don't really know why. I still like them. I just haven't really been gravitating. I haven't really been gravitating towards my textures, and I'll see people on Instagram post photos of matte polishes and I'm like, oh, that looks really cool, but then I never have the like desire to like matte a polish. So I would feel like that's probably the one I would say. In the alternative, is there a finish or trend that isn't currently popular that you would love to see more makers include in their brands? I am not terribly creative, so I don't know enough to say like if there's a trend that I think should be popular. I don't I don't think I'm creative enough to say that. I feel like recently the trends of, you know, the flakies, I think, are starting to get a little bit popular, a little bit more popular. I don't know if there's one that isn't popular that I personally like. But I think there's some that are on like the up and up that are working their way up. So I think eventually, and they're definitely popular now. I see a lot of people wanting the flakies, but I think flakies are gonna get a little bit more popular before they die down. So I would probably say that. What are your top favorite summer polishes? Did I film that already prior to that? I do have my top favorite summer polishes, and I'll link it here in the cards if I remember. But I'm pretty sure I filmed that. I don't know if I filmed it before this question and answer, before somebody asked this, or if I filmed it after. But I have done a video of like my top favorite polishes, and now that it's wrapping up, I haven't really been wearing. I think the last 2 weeks I haven't been wearing a lot of summer polishes. So. But yeah, I usually wear a lot of neons. That's really the only time of year. I'm very seasonal, so I don't wear a whole lot of neons and brights any other time of year. So that's usually when I bust them out. So it's a lot of, if you go and watch that video, woo! It's a lot of neons and bright colors, obviously, because it's summertime. And what is your favorite indie polish? I don't think I have you have to, I feel like it probably changes periodically. I think right now, Light of Lyra from Tonic is probably pretty high on the charts, but I have a lot of favorite indie polishes. I don't know if I could necessarily say a favorite, but recently that's probably been one of my favorite ones that I've worn recently. Besides nail polish, do you have other hobbies? I do have other hobbies. The other like obsession that I have as far as like collecting is plants. And of course, like, you can never really see any. In my other filming location, I've got a couple sitting on the table, but I've pretty much got, my husband makes the joke that we live in a rainforest because I have so many plants, and unfortunately, the area you're looking at back here is there's no plants because that's not really, I have them all basically over here close to the windows, but at one point when I first started my channel, I wanted to do plant videos and nail polish videos, but I didn't want to like, I don't know. I had anticipation. I had desires to do that, and then I was kind of like, oh, people aren't gonna like, if people subscribe and want nail polish videos, no one's gonna want to watch my plant videos, and I should just do a separate channel if I want to do plant videos. And then I tried to film a plant video, and it was really hard to like steady the camera and to like get up close on. So I kind of ended up like losing interest a little bit, but I do really love plants, succulents, house plants. So yeah, I probably have like 40, 50 plants in here if I had to make a guess. So I really love plants. I really enjoy biking and cycling. I don't do it like competitively. I'm not one of those crazy people you see like, biking on the side of the highway, but I really enjoy, I started biking to work probably like 2 years ago, and I've just really enjoyed biking and cycling. I take spin classes like twice a week. So I really enjoy that for exercise. When I'm not doing nail polish stuff, I'm also probably listening to podcasts. I really love true crime podcasts, current event, like current news, politics podcasts. I do a lot of like puzzles, like crosswords and like actual like jigsaw puzzles. Obviously hanging out with my cats. I feel like that is a hobby. What else we do? Like I've said in other videos, like we go and see a lot of movies, a lot of like independent documentary type movies. I feel like that's all I really get time to do. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with that. Let's see here. What's your favorite base coat and top coat? I do have a video on what I'm currently using, which I will hit up in the cards up here. I'm cycling through base coats at the moment. I was trying a couple ones, but by far my favorite one is the Nail Teaks Formula 2. It's a really good nail strengthener, and I use that pretty much for like half my manicures a week just to maintain my nails. So that's probably my favorite one. That one always has to be in my collection. I'm rotating through a couple other ones, but that's the one that always has to be in my collection. And I do have to have a peel off base coat. My favorite one that I've found thus far is the Picture Polish peel off base coat. It's basically like glue on the nails. It's ridiculous that it's so expensive, but it's the only one that I've found that I like personally. It's, you know, it peels off easy enough, but it doesn't pop off the nail easy, if that makes sense. Like, it'll peel off, but you have to, like, you know, put a little work into it. It's not just gonna like pop off the nail. So those are my two favorite base coats. And top coat by far is the Glisten and Glow top coat. I've tried to cycle through a couple other ones, and I haven't found another one that compares to the Glisten and Glow. So that one is by far my favorite. Hi Heather, I love your videos. Thank you. And your personality. Thank you. You remind me a little of Christina Applegate. I have gotten Christina Applegate before, and let's see here. I appreciate Christina Applegate. Thank you. I feel like a couple of the younger kids on here aren't going to know who Christina Applegate is, but I appreciate that. Let's see here. What do you do for a living? I am a librarian. I have been a librarian for 7 years now. I've worked in a bunch of different libraries. I've worked in public libraries. I've worked in academic libraries. Right now I'm working as a law librarian. So I help people, I help the courts, and I help like state agencies find legal resources that they need. So that is what I do. How did you meet your husband? I already kind of talked about that. Were you obsessed with nail polish since you were a little girl? I actually wasn't. I didn't really get obsessed with nail polish until probably like 2012, and I don't really know why. I don't know what started it. As I mentioned in other videos, I always had nail polish growing up, maybe like a couple. I was also a nail biter, so that also had to do with the fact that I never had nails to actually like paint. So I never really was into nail polish, and one day I just stopped biting my nails. I can't remember how long. I feel like somewhere in like my young adult like my 20s maybe, I just stopped biting my nails, and I started kind of getting into nail polish a little bit. I never was like super crazy about it. I would always just have a couple bottles laying around, and you know, in case I wanted to paint them. And then at some point when I went, I was semi-vegan for a while, and then now I'm kind of vegetarian, but when I went vegan, I pretty much like got rid of all of my like cruelty, you know, all of my like non-cruelty free nail polish, all of my like super chemical nail polishes, that I pretty much purged everything and didn't have nail polish for a really long time. And then I got introduced to ZOYA, and I don't know, I can't tell you what it was. One day I purchased a couple ZOYA polishes, and then was like, it just like opened the floodgates. I don't know. I can't even tell you what it was. It was just like, oh, well, I have this color. What if I became obsessed with just like collecting colors and just wanting every color under the rainbow. And I would get like mini panic attacks if like, I might not necessarily wear this color, but what if I want to wear it and I don't have that color? So something along those lines of like that drew me to like just start collecting polish. But it's really weird because I always like, I never had nails. I almost always bit my nails to the point where they were like barely anything on my fingers. So it just seems weird now that I collect nail polish, thinking back on it. And the other part to her question was, what do your coworkers think about your manis? Kind of touched on that. I don't think they really notice, or if they do, they don't tell me. And do you feel insecure to wear brights or neons or holographics to work? I wouldn't say I feel insecure. I definitely don't, I don't work in an office space, or, you know, the library is not super conservative, so I don't feel self-conscious if I go in wearing a neon green. There's some days where I'm kind of like, it's not necessarily insecure, it's just there's some days where I'm like doing office stuff or working at the desk, and I'm kind of like, this feels a little bright. It feels a little like crazy to me. Not necessarily that I feel insecure. I'll wear it if I want to wear it, but there's some days where I just kind of look down at myself and I'm like, that's a bright nail polish. But yeah, I don't feel insecure. So I wear pretty much anything to work. I've worn like a bright neon green. I've worn like a sparkly holographic. It doesn't bother me. The only time I really feel like kind of weird is during the summertime when I wear my like neons. Those are the ones where I'm always kind of like, I feel slightly weird about it just because they feel like, I don't know. It's the weird, I don't necessarily feel insecure, but I just feel like they're kind of like just too bright for the office sometimes, I guess. I don't know. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but that's what I feel like sometimes. You mentioned in another video that you were inspired by someone on the Lacaristas subreddit. I'm over there regularly. How often are you over there? I'm not over there very often. It's really when I'm bored and I've got nothing else to do and I've read all the other Reddit pages, I'll happen to jump on there every once in a while. I feel like I need to go on there more because I feel like every time I do go on there, I'm always really impressed by the nail art. So, and I'm definitely a lurker. I don't have like a login or anything. I just, every once in a while when I'm bored and I need to waste 15, 20 minutes, I'll jump on there and see what people are posting. I would love to know how you paint your nails so fast. I know you mentioned it takes like 15 minutes. If I'm doing a very basic like cream polish and I know it's like a decent formula, it can probably take me like 15 or 20 minutes. If I'm doing something more intricate like nail art or if it's a finicky polish, it probably will take me about 20, 30 minutes. But yeah, at this point I've gotten it pretty down pat, so that's why I can paint my nails every day. Is I feel like it's just a real quick, like boom, 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 and done. I don't really have any like tips or tricks. I feel like it just takes time. It takes practice. It takes time to learn the shape of your nails and how far to go down and how far to go across and how much polish to have on the brush and getting used to different polish brushes. I feel like it just takes time and practice. I wish I could give you, you know, the magic wand to be like, and now, you know, I've had wants and desires to like film a like sit down, like polish with me, like chit chat, do your nails with me type video, just so people can see how I paint my nails. Cause sometimes I think that might be helpful for folks. But I haven't been able to figure out like logistically how to do that. I obviously paint my nails in the guest bathroom. And so it's not like the most ideal space to be doing a like paint my nails chit chat kind of video. So I don't really know where I could film that, but it definitely has been on my mind. I would really like to do those types of videos. And I don't want to film, I want to be able to film kind of simultaneously, like with a camera facing my nails and a camera facing me, so that I can talk to you guys. Cause I don't really want to do a chit chat video with you if I can't look you in the face. I don't want to be just painting my nails the whole time because I don't know. Sometimes to me, I think those videos are a little like, I find them a little boring, to be honest, just because I feel like, I don't know. So yeah, I want to be able to like maybe have my, you know, sit here talking to you and maybe have my nails in like a smaller, you know, a smaller window down here, but I haven't been able to figure that out and I haven't had the time to figure that out, but it is on my mind. I wish I could film something like that just because I think it would be helpful for folks to kind of see how I paint my nails. But like I said, there's really no magic wand. It's just kind of taking the time and practice. I mean, it takes, you know, you're gonna screw them up from time to time. You're gonna flood your cuticles. It definitely takes time to learn how to do it. So it just keep practicing. And I promise your hand will get steady. It gets easier over time. Let's see here. Do you often get requests from your friends to do their toes or their nails? I don't actually, which is kind of funny. I don't have many folks that like nail polish, so they don't really care. And in addition to that, they don't really care about their nails. So I don't think anyone's ever asked me to do that before. I think one time somebody had a daughter and they thought about maybe like using my polishes to do like a little like slumber party type thing, which I would have been down for, but it never ended up working out. So funny enough, nobody asks me. Do your friends or coworkers tell you that you should do nails for profit? They do not. And I feel like if they did, I feel like it's a totally different beast doing your nails as opposed to somebody else's nails. Because I feel like at some point you get used to how your nails are shaped, and so I feel like if I tried to do someone else's nails, I don't know if they would turn out that well, to be honest. Battery card died, or my memory card died. I always say battery card. I don't know why I do that. Okay, so your top 3 nail polishes when it comes to a classy put together look. So I kind of have 2 categories for this. So my classic put together look, or my classy put together look when I don't really know what to wear, would probably be like a rosy nude. So for me, Zoya's Rue is always like my classic kind of like rosy red shade that I will go to. So there's those. There's also, if I want to look polished and like very chic, I will do maybe like a mauvey color, like maybe Zoya's Presley is a really nice one. Or if I'm feeling a little, you know, like not feisty, what's the word? If I'm you know, very like want to be a badass or want to be like, you know, not bossy, but like, you know, you want to be, I don't know the word I'm trying to think of, but for those types of shades, like, you know, those bad bitch, boss bitch, those kind of things, I would probably go for like one of those shades that I've talked about in the past where it's kind of like my version of a nude, but like kicked up a notch. So like Zoya's Wyatt is like this really cool kind of like bluish green that I think is, you know, kind of neutrally, but not. I would say like, is it like primary colors maybe? I don't know, something just like a color that is kind of neutral feeling, but like kicks it up a notch. So Wyatt, Zoya's Mallory I think is really cool, just like this primary blue color. Zoya's Landon is like this eggplant purple, just those that like, you know, kick it up a notch. I wish I'm thinking of all Zoyas just because those are like the steadfasts in my collection. Zoya's Janelle, like this brick red color. I think it's a lot of like jewel tones, like primary colors. Yeah, so like colors like that you think would be, you think would be, for me, feel kind of neutral, but have like a little bit of color to them. And that goes along with what nail polish do you use when you need a little power that day. Those types of colors, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Now the battery died, I can't win today. What is your favorite pearlescent nail polish you own? So I don't have a whole lot of pearlescent polishes in my collection. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite to wear. The brush strokes are always kind of like, are always difficult. And sometimes they can come off a little bit grandma-y. So I don't have a whole lot of ones. The one that sticks out in my head that I really like is Zoya's Pasha. It's just kind of like cool taupey brown, like very, very light brown, almost like camel-y colored, but camel's warm. So like a cool colored brown with just like a very small bit of, with some pearl in it. So it doesn't come off too frosty, but it gives it just like a little hint of something. Zoya's Yummy Mummy is also a good one that does that. That one has just even a fainter bit of pearlescent to it. So the ones that like just barely have enough to see, but they just kind of make the polish glow a little bit on the nail. I don't like when they're too frosty. Do you see this? Hey, what you doing? Sweepies? All right, let's see here. What specific nail polish, nail care, nail look you see with other people that you dislike the most? I wouldn't say I dislike it. I mean, whatever I say here, I don't necessarily think, I wouldn't say I dislike it. I just don't think they would work for me or be suitable for me. So as far as like nail polish, again, like frosty pearlescent polishes just aren't my jam. Linear holographics, I'm kind of iffy on. Sometimes I like them, sometimes they're a little too much for me. Iridescent polishes, I feel like I don't always love on me. As far as nail care, I don't know for nail care. Nail look, I guess like when you grow your nails out to a certain, like, I don't think I could deal, like right now, like this is pretty long for me. Like my nails are probably like a good inch or so above, I've got quite a bit of visible nail line at this point. So for me, this for me is pretty long. Like I'm typing on the computer and it's getting really obnoxious. So I don't know how people that grow their nails out super, super long, I don't know how they deal with that. People that do like weird nail shapes, like the pointy ones and all that, I don't know how they function in normal society. I think they look real cool for, Instagram shots and like swatch photos and stuff, but I don't know how you function in normal, like, I don't know, how do you pick things up? I have contacts, like, I don't know how you put contacts in your eye. So I need to have nail looks that I can function with on a daily basis. Oh, like the nail, like the nail, not decals, but like when people put like actual things on their nails, like balls and stuff. How do you, like, I don't understand how you function in life. And I also would not, like, how do you spend that much time painting your nails? I would be pissed if I took all that time to paint my nails, glued shit to my hand, and then it would pop off within like 30 minutes. So I really enjoy looking at those types of nail looks. I think they're really cool looking for like artistic purposes, but in everyday life, I would be so mad if it took me 45 minutes to paint my nails and then all of a sudden just like, it was just popping off. I just feel like I would waste so much time doing all that for it to only last for like, 2 minutes. And plus I change my nail polish all the time, so I would get hella bored with that. But yeah, not necessarily that I don't, like, I hate it. I just don't, on me, I don't think I could function with that kind of stuff. What job do you have and what nail polish you will never wear at work? So I already kind of talked about my job. What nail polish will I never wear? I don't know if there's a polish I would never wear. I've kind of talked about like the ones that I always feel kind of like weird about wearing, but I still wear them anyway. I don't think there's one that I would never wear. I think I've pretty much worn every color, I think, at this point to work. And I don't paint my nail, and I pretty much have to wear any polish to work because at this point I work 5 days a week. Half my day is at work. If I don't wear something that I can wear to work, I would never paint my nails because I don't paint my nails that much on the weekends. So I feel like it would be pointless to be, if I was limiting myself to that extent, like why even bother having nail polish? So yeah, I don't think there's a nail polish I would never wear to work. And then the last question is, why do you hate wearing polish more than a day? I don't necessarily hate wearing polish more than a day. I just get really bored with it. I have so many, and to justify having that many nail polishes, I feel like I have to be painting my nails every day. There's only so many days in the year. If I have 400 plus nail polishes, half those polishes are never going to get worn if I wear a polish for more than 5 or 7 days. So for me, it's just how I kind of justify to myself having that many nail polishes is that I change my nail polish every day. The fact that I can paint my nails fairly quickly and not, that also helps that I change my nail polish. That also helps that I have the ability to change my nail polish every day. And don't get me wrong, I will, if I've got other shit going on, if I am going out of town, if I've got too much on my plate, I have been known to wear my nail polish more than a day. But it's so funny that I could paint my nail one day and be like, oh, I love this polish, it looks really pretty. The next day I'm like, get it off my nails. Like I just get bored with nail polish so fast and I just want to change it up all the time. But if I've got other stuff going on, I don't mind wearing a nail polish more than a day. It's just, I have the ability to do it, so why not just change it? And why just let polish sit in there for forever if I have the ability to change it all the time? I might as well do it because I have so much polish. How many polishes do you own? Kind of talked about that. And are you over mainstream polishes? I kind of talked about that too. So that is my Q&A video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Again, I apologize that this took forever and a day to film. But I'm hoping summer's going to be done soon because summer is just draining me. I feel like it's just, it's been a crazy summer. I'm hoping fall is going to come soon. It might slow down a little bit. It definitely, I'm definitely waiting for the cool weather, and I've already started breaking out some of my fall polishes and I'm not mad about it. So that is exciting. But again, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any other questions, or if you want to chit chat, you can leave that down in the comments below. And I miss talking to you guys. I really want to start filming more videos. I'm hoping I can get back on the right track, but we'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.